For 37 years, the Nissan Sentra has been synonymous with a compact car, and over that time, they have sold over 6 million units. Well, like they say, things get better with time, and this is the 8th generation all-new Nissan Sentra, and I have to say, this one has really upped its game, and it's really going to get noticed. This 8th generation Sentra is built off a brand new platform, and it looks like no Sentra has ever looked before. It's kind of like a baby Nissan Maxima. First thing you notice, this car has lines and a lot of curves, and it looks great. The new car is 2 inches lower and 2 inches wider, giving it a real grounded presence. The front, of course, features their V-motion grille, and standard are halogen headlights, but this is the SR trim, and it comes with LED daytime running lights as well as headlamps. Also, the grille on this SR is surrounded in black chrome. The SR trim is one above, which I think is going to be the volume seller, which is the SV trim, and it gets 18-inch wheels opposed to 16-inch on the SV. And you'll also notice the lower body sill extensions. I want to show you one option that you can only get on the SR, and that's the two-tone paint option. This one is the Super Black and Aspen White Tricot two-tone paint, and it's a $500 option. There are other colors, and they're only $335. I'm really impressed with this paint job, and in certain light or angles, you can really see the nice pearl that comes through. The two-tone also shows off its floating roof design, similar to that of the Maxima. Styling is subjective, but in my opinion, this new Sentra is probably one of the best looking compact vehicles out there. The SR also gets this deck lid spoiler, and for the exhaust you get a chrome finisher. All SV and up trim levels get the intelligent key, so you don't need your key fob to unlock the doors or the trunk. So there you go, up it comes, and I brought along my trusty travel trunk here, just to give you an idea of how big it is and how much room there is. So we can put it in straight on or sideways, of course, with lots of room to spare. The inside of the trunk is finished, but it does not have a grab handle, which is kind of disappointing. Just a small piece of plastic would be nice to be able to grab and pull that trunk down, but instead you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. I think the new Sentra offers a lot of value, so let's talk about the trims. The base model starts at just under $19,000, and that's the S trim, and that comes with a 6-speed manual transmission, which is only available in Canada. Up from that, you have the S Plus, so it's the base with a CVT, and that comes with a 4.2-inch driver's screen and a 7-inch infotainment touchscreen. Then you get to the SV trim, which I mentioned. I think it's going to be the volume seller. The reason being because it's only $1,400 more. And for that $1,400 more, you get a lot. Like you get a 7-inch opposed to the 4.2-inch screen. For the driver's screen, you have an 8-inch touch screen as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You get dual zone climate control, 3 USBs. One's a regular USB, one's a USB-C. One in the back is a regular USB, and you also get a 12-volt outlet. You get upgraded from the 16-inch steel wheels to the 16-inch alloys. Also, the base comes with rear drum brakes. The SV and up gets disc brakes. And then you get the premium cloth interior. So let's get to the one we're driving now, which is the SR trim, and that's only $2,000 more than the SV. And what do you get there? Well, you get everything that the SV gives you, plus you get a power moonroof. You get cloth sport seats. These are zero gravity seats, the first time in a Sentra. You get a leather wrapped shift knob as well as steering wheel. This is a D-shaped steering wheel. It's got that flat bottom. It's also heated seats in this as well. And one of the most noticeable differences is you get this contrast stitching. And then there's one model above that, and that's the SR Premium. So that gets everything that we have with this SR, but you get leatherette seats, you get a Bose sound system, you get different LED headlamps. They're thinner, And one of the most important things though is that you get the around view monitor, so that 360 bird's eye view system, which I really am missing in this model. I wish that was an option that you could get on all trims as a standalone option, because I would probably get that for sure. I think the interior has a very nice look and feel to it. There's great utility. There's a lot of storage in the middle compartment. You have a nice tray area in the front. And yeah, I like the switch gear, the switches and the buttons. These circular vents almost remind me of that of the new A-Class from Mercedes. Mercedes and Sentra, yeah, that's pretty good company. In the back, you'll find ample room for 4 passengers for sure. 5 passengers, it's going to be a little bit tight, but this is a compact vehicle. There is a hump on the ground for the middle passenger, but yeah, I'm almost 5'11", decent amount of headroom. It tapers off a little bit in the rear, but lots of leg room and lots of foot room as well underneath the seat. One thing I did notice though is that there is a seat back pocket on the passenger side, but there is none for the driver's side. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, I wouldn't mind sitting back here at all. All right, before we start talking about the drive, you know the spiel. If you're watching this channel, you enjoy the content, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit that bell notification, hit the thumbs up as well. If you don't like the video, hit the thumbs down, but let me know why you don't like it so I can actually do my best to try to improve it. So let's talk about the drive now. We are in this brand new Sentra. It has a brand new power plant. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, and it puts out 20% more power than the previous version at 149 horsepower. Too bad they couldn't just get that one more to make it 150 for that nice even number. Torque is rated at 146 pound-feet, and it's matched to either a 6-speed manual transmission like we mentioned, and that's only on the S base trim in Canada. All the other trims get a CVT or continuously variable transmission. Nissan's been at this for a while with these transmissions, so they're pretty good at it. We are in regular drive right now, and we're cruising on a highway, but we're doing 80K. If I put my foot down into it, there is a slight delay letting that the engine kind of catch up, but the transmission does emulate a conventional transmission in some cases. You can kind of feel it kind of like gear down. There is also a small button on the gear shift. If you hit that, now we go, and when you see the little S by the D, and we are in sport mode now. I get it, no one buys manual transmissions anymore. The sales speak for themselves, but for the odd few that do like it, I wish they did have the option to get the manual in a higher trim level like this SR. This new platform the Sentra is riding on is stiffer, and being that it's lower and wider, this does have a nice planted feel to it, and it feels very light. It feels like you're driving something very, very nimble. This part of the road here is fairly bumpy and hilly. There's some big humps here, and this vehicle handles it very well. One reason why is this has active ride control. So what is that? It is not adjustable suspension. There are not variable dampers on this. So the computer analyzes everything from your speed, your braking, the G-forces, and it uses the brakes and the torque to smooth things out. So if you're doing some irregular acceleration, for instance, or braking, it'll react to that. So instead of the vehicle suspension doing this, it'll smooth it out to make it more of a smooth, flat line. The first time I experienced this type of system, I believe it was in the new Mazda 6. I could be wrong, but that's when I first heard about it, and this Nissan has that as well. This also has lane tracing. So what that does is kind of similar, is as you're turning the corner, it's analyzing all the parameters, and it can adjust each individual brake a little bit to brake to help you rotate around the corner as well. All Sentras come standard with their Nissan 360 Shield, and that includes, you get blind spot warning, you have frontal collision alert with emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, rear emergency braking, and lane departure warning. And when you do kind of drift off in your lane, you get haptic feedback in the steering wheel. It's hard to actually trick the computer to make it do it. I'll try to dip. There we go. So along with that, in your 7-inch display in the cluster, you see it blinks as well. So it really lets you know that you're kind of drifting off. Another reason why the Sentra has a very sophisticated ride for a compact car is not just because of the new platform and all those active goodies, but now it does have rear independent suspension. Along with that, you also get a new steering rack as well. So when you put it all together, you have more power, you have better handling, more technology, more comfort, better styling. This is a very, very compelling package for the compact market and at a very, very good price. Okay, here's a standing start. Here we go. All right, there's a car in front of me here. So that was 0 to 80 kilometers per hour. Gives you an idea of the type of acceleration. Off the line, it can be a little bit sluggish because of that CVT, but once you get it going, as we are right now, let's say a rolling 70 kilometers an hour, and when you put your foot into it, it has that little downshift simulation, and it has no problem getting up to passing speed whatsoever. The sweet spot is really about 3,500 RPM on this, though. You really feel a really solid engagement of the transmission and the torque. It is quite fun to drive. A manual transmission would be better and more engaging for sure, but it's all about fuel economy as well. So this averages 7.3 liters per 100K in city and highway combined driving, which puts it right in the middle of the pack with all its competitors for fuel economy. That's pretty good. But one thing that the Sentra does not have, which I do wish though, not just the manual transmission on the higher trim levels, is a higher performance version or a sportier version. Let's say, Honda, they've got the SI, they have, of course, they have the Type R. Not meaning that we have to go that far, but a sportier version of this. Let's remember in the past, the SER. How about that for this one? I think that would be great. Well, it really is nice to get out today for a drive. The sun is shining. I really have not been out very much at all because we're all trying to practice social distancing and do our part, and there have not been a lot of cars to drive because these cars come from these fleets and a lot of them have closed down. So I managed to get this one from Nissan Canada. This is the Sentra, and I really have to thank them for allowing me to test drive this because it's really broken up the monotony of, I call it the Groundhog Day syndrome at home. I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. And so to be able to get out, enjoy the sun a little bit, we're still away from everybody, and just, share this review with you guys, it's really a nice treat. Thank you. The new Sentra is a solid performer. It comes with a lot of standard features, and best of all, it's got, I'd say, probably the best styling out of the bunch. If the Sentra hasn't been on your radar for a while, this one should really change that, and if you're in the market for a compact car, make sure to put this one on your list.